We are standing here on the main stem of the Colorado River, as you can see right here, and then coming in underneath the railroad bridge is a major tributary, the Roaring Fork River. And at this point, the river is full of snowmelt. This is our runoff season, and right here we have about 14,000 cubic feet of water rushing by every second at this point. The river has not peaked yet. We expect more snow melt coming because we had a big snow year, and the water could be even higher yet and run even faster. And we consider that good because we've been in a drought period for about the last 7 years. We've been in a prolonged drought, and this is a welcome gush of water, and hopefully the drought will be relieved.
There is a 1922 Colorado River Compact which divides up the water use allocations among the 7 Colorado Basin states within the United States. There's a 1944 treaty between the United States and Mexico guaranteeing Mexico 1,500,000 acre-feet of water a year at the Mexican border.
Partly that was done out of a recognition that the lower basin was developing its water uses faster than the upper basin, and the upper basin wanted to preserve some right to use waters before they were all used up downstream. Even though the water originates here in the headwaters in Colorado, the fact that people had started to use it in the South actually, under our legal doctrine of prior appropriation, would mean that people here next to where the snow falls would not be able to use that water if other people had claim to it in the South. So in 1922, we entered this interstate compact, but it wasn't until 1944 that the U.S. and Mexico entered a treaty that would divide both the Rio Grande and the Colorado River. And in that treaty, Mexico gained the right to a delivery of 1.5 million acre-feet of water, which at the time was considered to be roughly 1/10 of the river's annual average flow.
We provide irrigation water to about 9,400 acres of ground. We have apricots, peaches, vineyards where they grow grapes. We have some wineries, a lot of wineries that use the grapes. We grow some hay, and then a lot of houses with their yards and their gardens, private homes, and they use the water for their lawns and their gardens. The irrigation water that I use comes from high in the Rocky Mountains, from snowmelt, and it comes out of the Colorado River. That's what we use. We divert the water from the Colorado River and take it through the canals and send it back to the Colorado River when we're finished with it.
There's probably 50 crops grown in the valley every year, maybe more. A lot of them are forage crops: alfalfa, Sudan grass, Bermuda grass, and Klein grass. Probably is the biggest acreage, and they're forage crops, and they're used for feeding cattle or horses or dairy cows. And a lot of it is used in this country, in California, and some in Arizona, and some is exported to Japan, Taiwan, and other countries as well.
Las Vegas gets 90% of its water supply out of the Colorado River. It cannot tolerate an emptying of Lake Mead, which is right there at Las Vegas, and that reservoir has gone down significantly over the last 9 years during this unprecedented drought. And there is I don't think it's an exaggeration to say, grave concern inside Las Vegas right now about the future of their water supply, because they're not, unlike most Western cities, they're not particularly diversified in their sources of supply. Los Angeles, for example, gets water out of the northern Sierras. It gets it out of the Owens Valley in California. It actually gets it, of course, out of the Colorado River Basin. Here in Denver, some of our supplies are local, and some of them are these Trans Mountain supplies out of the Colorado River Basin. Phoenix gets a large proportion of its water, and Tucson, Arizona in particular, out of an enormous multi-billion-dollar engineering project called the Central Arizona Project.